With WWE not prepping employees for a Brock Lesnar return and Peyton Royce released after a terrible meeting with Vince McMahon, this is Wrestling Up. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 22nd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle is regarded as one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Still, he had an immense battle with his painkiller addiction, which led to his relationship with Vince McMahon souring in 2006. Of course, Angle would turn his life around and eventually find his way back to the company. Speaking about the pain he's in, Angle revealed on his podcast, "I'm in extreme pain all day long. I do maintenance on my body all day. I do my neck traction. I have a thing called the iron neck, where it trains your neck. I have anti-gravity machine rollers. I stretch. I do a lot of weight training. I work on my body a good 2 to 3 hours a day. I have to. I'm so banged up now. I sacrificed a lot of my body in professional wrestling and amateur wrestling. I have to blame both sports, not just one. I'm paying for it now, but I'm managing it. I had a painkiller problem, but I kicked that 8 years ago. Not having painkillers anymore is really difficult, but I'm never going back to those, nor do I want to. I'm going to keep doing my body maintenance training and doing what I'm doing right now." Angle said he had something going on with WWE previously, which would suggest a return in the near future after being released as a part of the pandemic budget cuts last year. After a brutal match against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens is taking time off as some suspected he could be either injured or just looking to spend time with his family. Yet the Wrestling Observer has stated he's taking time off, but I was told it's storyline related, so there you go. We'll have to see when KO makes his comeback to WWE TV. On her podcast, Peyton Royce touched on being released from WWE in April, where she mentioned a horrible meeting with Vince McMahon. "This is when you were drafted to SmackDown and I decided to put on my big girl panties and talk to Vince. I had in my head what I wanted to say, but he brushed it off very quickly and I went, crap. I had an idea that I wanted to present and he wanted to discuss other ideas, but I didn't have other ideas. This is what I wanted to talk about and put my time and effort into." Vince says, "What do you do for fun?" Me being me, the introvert and the homebody that I am, I had to let him know that I like to sit on the couch with my dogs and watch TV. He just stared at me and in my head I'm just like, make something up, and I couldn't make anything up. Nothing was coming out. I'm not a liar. I feel like he could have seen right through that. I basically said to him, I'm sorry, I'm boring, and I just like to be home on my days off. I didn't contribute much during that, unfortunately, and that's probably why I lost my job." With Peyton Royce and Billie Kay's non-compete clause expiring on July 14th, we can see what promotion they'll end up in. Speaking on IGTV, Matt Riddle revealed how he lost his love for MMA and how those promotions do not respect their athletes. "So when I got fired from the UFC, I went to Bellator and was trying to make that work, and that didn't work out. I can't get into it, but then I went to Titan FC. I remember I was fighting the UFC for $25,000 to show up, $25,000 to win. When I fought in Titan, my last fight in MMA, I fought for $5,000 flat. After that fight, I was thinking, I signed another fight to fight Ben Saunders, and I was just like, this isn't what I want to do. And I felt like I put enough hard work and time into it where I just felt extremely disrespected, and when I would watch pro wrestling, because I always did growing up and even at this point, I saw the amount of respect the fans had for the athletes, but in turn the company had to respect the athlete, and I felt like that was missing from MMA. Now Riddle is teaming with Randy Orton looking to challenge for the Raw Tag Team belts. On Talk Is Jericho, the Dark Order's Evil Uno recalled the group's infamous 2019 beatdown on Dynamite, where one of the underlings' punches to Dustin Rhodes were obviously not connecting. "We thought we were done after that, to be honest. Even in the lead up, we were a little nervous because originally that was not the plan. We did not know we were going to end the last Dynamite of the year with a big beatdown on all the faces. When we came in that day, they told us that was the plan. We were really nervous because we weren't really a hot act. We were really growing and thought if we were given a couple more weeks weeks to build it up, it could work. We never considered ourselves a main event angle. We had no direction for the top. Our original plan was to have the losers from the show. That's why we were getting Alex Reynolds and John Silver, because they had lost a minute on the first 2 shows. If we get them, we have people who know what they're doing, and they can have matches that are longer. We had no great reveal other than that. We weren't very happy with the segment happening to begin with. On top of that, we knew the reaction was flat, and as soon as we came to the back, the phone is blowing up, and they picked up on all the side stuff instantly. Most of the local guys did not understand that the camera is on at all times. They mistimed a lot of our timing, some interactions were cut short. Damian Priest reportedly fell victim to injury before WrestleMania 37. The Wrestling Observer had noted that he was able to work despite a bad back, as it seems he has now been given time off to recover. Fightful Select gave an update saying, "We have heard that he's healing up and will be available as soon as next week if WWE has creative plans for him." He was said to have been unavailable the past couple of weeks for other undisclosed reasons. Fightful also gave an update on WWE bringing back Brock Lesnar, writing and speaking with people in different departments of WWE. Many have expected a Lesnar return, but have not been prepped to ready any promotional materials for said return. In speaking with additional WWE sources throughout the night, it was said to be a poorly kept secret that WWE hopes to have Lesnar back, but that those close to Lesnar don't believe any real contact or movement has been made in that direction. In that interview on IGTV, Riddle talked about what reignited his passion for pro wrestling following his departure from UFC. Also, I'll be honest, I saw Brock Lesnar beat the streak of The Undertaker. I was like, I should probably get into WWE. That same night, Daniel Bryan became a double champion, I believe against Triple H and Batista. It was a big night for me. That was when all the MMA stuff was happening with me. I was happy with the WWE, and I also saw a resurgence in pro wrestling. Speaking with Men's Health, Vin Diesel touched on how he got The Rock acclimated to play the Hobbs character. It was a tough character to embody, the Hobbs character. My approach at the time was a lot of tough love to assist in getting that performance where it needed to be. As a producer, to say, okay, we're going to take Dwayne Johnson, who's associated with wrestling, and we're going to force the cinematic world audience members to regard his character as someone that they don't know. Hobbs hits you like a ton of bricks. That's something that I'm proud of, that aesthetic. That took a lot of work. We had to get there, and sometimes at that time, I could give a lot of tough love. Not felonies, but I would do anything I'd have to do in order to get performances in anything I'm producing. Fast 9 is set to hit theaters in the US on Friday, as the film's opening was not great in China after John Cena called Taiwan a country. Of course, The Rock is not in that movie, but could be in the final 2 films for the series. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.